Key step for the 49ers. They've announced the finalization of rookie contract business this offseason. But first, Christian McCaffrey and his movement training. Remember, Christian McCaffrey likes to invoke Bruce Lee, be like water. Well, movement, very important to him to fit through that defensive line. How about these push-ups? Who can do push-ups like this? I'm going to give it my best shot in just a little bit. But it's not just the push-ups. It's the full gamut of movement exercises, including some meditation.
The socket and the eyeball that sits in it.
As Christian McCaffrey, who just turned 30 years old, prepares for this 2026 season. Remember, Christian had a career high of over 400 touches in 2025, so he's doing everything he can to make sure that his body is ready for the challenge here in 2026. The 49ers doing what they can to support him. Keon White, one of the 49ers' 8 draftees in this 2026 cycle, running back, meant to take some of the load off of Christian McCaffrey. And San Francisco has now announced that it has officially signed its entire 8-player draft class. The final 2 over the past couple days, Romelo Height and Grayson Halton. It's funny because the 49ers actually tweeted out pictures of both Height and Halton signing something with a fancy pen a few months ago, but they just now announced the finalization of their contracts. The delay to the announcement, unclear why, but we now know that all 8 draftees are signed at a combined 2026 cap hit of only $10.5 million. As you can see, Romelo Height, $1.3 million on the salary cap this year. Grayson Halton, $1.2 million on the salary cap this year. You add all 8, and they're based on the rookie wage scale, so the higher you get picked, the more you get paid. $10.5 million. Speaking of Christian McCaffrey, his 2026 salary cap hit is $10.9 million. In fact, the 49ers have 6 veterans on the active roster with higher cap hits on their own than the entire 2026 draft class combined. It's all balanced out at the top now thanks to a couple of restructures, but Brock Purdy's at $23.7 million. Bosa right behind him. Trent Williams down to $20 million following his contract extension that slashed his cap hit. Fred Warner at $17.9 million. George Kittle at $14.1 million. And Christian McCaffrey just edges out the entire draft class. Helps you make sense of the rookie contract lifeblood theory. You've got to have guys on rookie contracts to fit under the salary cap to form, I don't want to say the meat of the roster, but to form a very vital part of the roster, because this is not basketball where you only have 12 to 15 guys on the team. This is football where it's a 53-man active roster, and you need more than that to make it through the season. So just having superstars is not going to be enough. You need cost-controlled quality depth, and that is what the 49ers are going to be trying to get with their rookie class. Now, speaking of the guys they just signed, they're very, very excited about Romelo Height.
I call Romelo a weapon. He's a TN. He's rushing, standing up. He's dropping back. This guy is a weapon. Who knows what Raheem does? He may put him over a guard here and there. So really excited how we utilize him. And I kid you not, when I first watched him play, just his speed, his intensity, the way he gets after the quarterback, his will be a really big help for us this year, especially on 3rd down.
You saw KJ Wright's eyes light up talking about Romelo Height as a weapon, and perhaps our biggest initial clue into how the new defensive coordinator, Raheem Morris, is going to structure things for the 49ers. He's going to want some not only ambidextrous weapons, but some adaptable weapons. Maybe a defensive end who he can drop into coverage. And that's what Height did at Texas Tech. A really, really good pass rusher. And also, this is somebody who played 6 different colleges in 6 years. He's 25 years old. Chris Kasarik, the 49ers defensive line coach, even says that Height is relatively ahead of where the typical defensive lineman would be, probably because of the fact that he is older and has seen so much college football and so many different systems.
Can make grass disappear, when he's running across the field. be able to put a tackle, with his get off, be able to put a tackle behind the 8 ball in the set and force him to, turn and do things that we want him to do with the speed that he gets off the ball with. So, and then just the way he plays, the energy he brings, every time he plugged on the Tech film last year, he was showing up around the ball, pursuing the ball across the field. Obviously, the pass rush jumps off the tape. So, and then just the toughness that he plays with.
So, of course, expect Height to bring some level of polish to the edge rusher position, the speed rusher position vacated by Bryce Huff, who retired to enter the business world. Expect Height to complement Nick Bosa, but go back to what KJ Wright said and expect him to maybe do a little bit more than Bryce Huff. Expect him to drop back into some passing lanes, and the 49ers defense might take on a more amorphous nature here in 2026. Really exciting to hear multiple different position coaches talk about one player. And that means that he can be used in a versatile way. In fact, the 49ers even have a dedicated specialist on their coaching staff this year to deal with defensive linemen who might do some dropping in the coverage as linebackers.
So we have an awesome coach by the name of Greg Scruggs. I played with Scruggs in Seattle, a guy that has played D-end, D-tackle, played tight end, a smart coach. He's going to take over those stand-up guys on the line of scrimmage.
And then, of course, there is Grayson Halton.
The 4 years I was there, I've heard a lot of Trent Williams. I'm excited to meet him as well. He actually gave me a follow on Instagram, so that's pretty cool. But Oklahoma alumni, I'm sure that we're going to click.
At 36.5 vertical, I think you're 2 inches above Trent's. I think it was 34.5.
Okay, yeah, he athletic now.
But getting up to 36.5, even as you had put up that weight, you got up to 290. How difficult was that? You mentioned kind of balancing, getting heavier, but maintaining that athleticism.
Yeah.
What kind of training had to go into that?
Yeah, that's what it was, just making sure you're eating good, making sure that, you're keeping your body around the 290, 295, and, just working out, doing, 1080s. I was in Arizona training, so, doing explosive work, getting in the weight room, that all comes together. And, but I've always been an athlete, so, that vertical, it's just showing the athletic part of on my side, but just getting better every day. Just pushing and getting in the weight room, getting on the field. Just making myself better.
The man who played both running back and a little bit of wide receiver in high school. Then at college, he became an ultra-athletic defensive tackle, which is what I think the 49ers like. Now, when I had a chance to talk to Chris Kasarik, I just wanted to get a read on the body types they have at defensive tackle. Obviously, C.J. West and Alfred Collins, the 2025 draftees, are big defensive tackle bodies, run stoppers, 320-plus pounds. Then they traded for Osa Odighizuwa, who's going to be the pass-rushing anchor of the interior. He's much lighter, 290 or so. Grayson Halton, where does he fall in that mix? Right in the middle. That's where Grayson Halton fits body size-wise. Now, I don't think the 49ers are expecting him to be a run stalwart to begin with. I think that they did draft him as a pass rusher, and the weight does indicate that. But I also want to note that he wasn't terrible in rushing situations at Oklahoma, and I think that the 49ers would love for him to develop into an adaptable defender who can be out there in both pass rushing and run defense situations. The more versatile your defense is, the better it is equipped to handle these amorphous offensive attacks, which obviously have proliferated across the NFL ever since Kyle Shanahan built a system that can either run or pass out of very similar looking formations. So Grayson Halton, that hybrid body in between the Osa Odighizuwa pass rushing frame and the run-stopping bodies of C.J. West and Alfred Collins. 49ers defensive tackles a lot more capable, I think, top to bottom than they were last year. They've really cleaned house with that position group. Sticking along the defensive line, well, Keon White got shot in the ankle after the Super Bowl. We've seen plenty of workout videos from Keon White, including the uphill treadmill now. I think that he's going to be ready for the start of training camp, which is really good news for the 49ers. Then, of course, you've got Malik Mustafa. You can't forget about that safety competition that the 49ers are set to host this season. Malik, I think, a favorite to start for San Francisco, but we're also a bit in the dark regarding exactly what Raheem Morris is going to demand out of the safety position. Raheem, former safety at Hofstra, potentially looking even to the outside for more safety help. This is a team that has added a starting safety who delivered a bunch of interceptions close to the start of a regular season. That was Tashawn Gibson back in 2022. And this is a team that might be adding at the trade deadline as well. Remember that Jesse Bates III did play under Raheem Morris in Atlanta, star safety, under the final year of his contract now. But Malik Mustafa was a star for the 49ers, a rookie star in 2024, but he tore his ACL in the very final game. Wasn't as good in 2025. But the 49ers pass rush also got worse in 2025. We cannot ignore that part of it. So with a better pass rush, and we started this show talking about Romelo Height and Grayson Halton, two guys designed to do just that. Nick Bosa is going to be back for the 49ers. Osa Odigizua, of course. The better pass rush, the 49ers safety play should also be better. And that completely changes the equation of evaluation at that position. I was thinking about starting our next video with this, but it's too good. We could put it here at the end of this one as well. World Cup for Team USA and for Levi's Stadium is over, and I guess it's back to actually being Levi's Stadium now. Levi's did a great job writing this out as FIFA covered up their logo. It was the San Francisco Bay Area Stadium officially. Levi's even updated their profile picture to include the covered up logo. But now Levi's Stadium is Levi's Stadium again. Soon to be graced by Christian McCaffrey and all those 49ers rookies. The entire class is signed at $10.5 million cumulatively here for the 2025-2026 season. And that's a big win for the 49ers. Early enough to not be a distraction at all. I know that some of those guarantees have started slipping into the second round. So the fact that the 49ers were able to get Romelo Height under contract, we'll find out exactly how much of his deal is guaranteed. Nice big W for San Francisco. It is signed, sealed, delivered, and announced. Rookies report in 10 days, July 18th, to the team facility. Everybody hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It's been great talking to you. Look, a 49ers update where we didn't mention that receiver who's on the left squad list. You should hit the like and the thumbs up and comment just for that.